Okay, we're live. We're live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Getting ready to do some yoga, all levels with Erika, so join us.
That's why we need yoga.
I know, right? I feel like a little old lady.
Yeah, there's not much we can do right now. Like, we're trapped. I actually went for a drive yesterday with my kids.
Did you?
To go to Barrington to go by Cuba Road.
Yeah.
My kids are really into haunted stuff, so there's the White Cemetery.
There's haunted stuff there?
There's the White Cemetery, which is supposed to be like a haunted area.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So my kids watch this YouTube stuff all the time, so there's apps, like there's the EMF reader. I was like, let's download these and like go over there and see. And we did, and they had a blast.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they thought it was fun. Of course, they don't see anything, which reiterates that, it helps them know that they're safe.
Right.
At the same time, but the excitement, I think.
Right. Oh my God, yeah. Can you imagine if we saw something?
Yeah. No, yeah, if I saw something, I probably would be here right now.
Right now. You would not. I'm going to see who's writing. Oh, Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Miss your face. Hi, Erin. Erin's watching.
All right. So we've got some people on, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I think we were talking just about how we feel trapped. I think everybody does right now. Yeah. It's sort of an awkward feeling, and being able to practice yoga, it's so wonderful because it helps you bring your mind, body, and spirit together, which I think we all need right now, because your body needs to move and be fluid, and not being able to really leave our house as much doesn't leave room for that, which then affects your mind, which then affects your spirit. So when I started yoga, it was actually the mind stuff that really got me into it. So I'm going to do a reading where we center ourselves, and I hope everybody can hear me. But this reading was from my very first yoga class I ever went to. The teacher read it, and it just really hooked me off from that one reading. So we're going to start to center ourselves. So we're going to come into a child's pose. So come around into tabletop. Wrists under your shoulders, knees can be hip distance apart, or if you have those tighter hips, bring those knees out wide, big toes together. And as you work with your breath, start to exhale, sink those sitting bones onto your heels as you extend your fingertips out in front of you, dropping your forehead down to the mat. If you're using props at home and it doesn't reach, you can always drop your forehead to a block or a pillow. So the reading, as we center ourselves, this just helps you come into the moment. So while you're in this child's pose, start to relax all the muscles in your body, connecting to the rhythm of your breath, clearing your mind here. So this reading is from the book Wherever You Go, There You Are, Mindfulness, Meditation, in Everyday Life by Jon Kabat-Zinn. And it's on letting go. Letting go means just what it says. It's an invitation to cease clinging to anything, whether it be an idea, a thing, an event, a particular time or view or desire. It is a conscious decision to release with full acceptance into the stream of present moments as they are unfolding. To let go means to give up coercing, resisting, or struggling in exchange for something more powerful and wholesome, which comes out of allowing things to be as they are without getting caught up in your attraction to or rejection of them, in the stickiness of wanting, of liking, and disliking. It's akin to letting your palm open to unhand something you've been holding on to. So as you let that reading sink in, as you're centering yourself, and spring is now upon us, so it's a time for rebirth. So Maybe you could think to yourself of something you're holding on to that you might need to let go of. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. And then on your 3rd breath, go ahead and push back into your palms, bringing yourself right back into that tabletop position. We're going to warm up our spine here in cow and cat. So as you inhale, tuck the tailbone under, bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, relax your shoulders. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin in, round your spine. Pull that navel center up and back towards your spine for cat. Inhale as you rise. And exhale as you round. The next time you're in a neutral position, go ahead and pause. We're going to work on the shoulders a bit here. So we're going to start by keeping our right hand planted. We're going to inhale the left arm up and overhead, gaze up at the fingertips. Exhale, thread the left arm under the right, coming onto your left ear, left shoulder. You can stay with your right hand planted if you want. If you want to go a little deeper, you can wrap that right arm around your back, taking those right fingertips towards your left hip. Go ahead and release your right hand back down to the mat, pushing into your palm. Inhale that left arm, back up and overhead, gaze up at those fingertips. Exhale, left hand comes back down to the mat. Now left hand stays grounded as we inhale the right, gaze up at the fingertips, and exhale, right threads under the left. Now coming onto your right ear, right shoulder. Again, left hand could stay planted, or you could wrap that left hand around your back, bringing those fingertips towards your right hip. Taking your left hand back down to the mat, pushing into your palm. Inhale. That right arm back up and overhead, gaze up at the fingertips. And exhale, release that hand down to the mat. We're going to tuck our toes under here. As we push into our palms, we're going to engage our core. We're going to lift those hips up and back, coming into our first downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and pedal it out here, bending each knee back and forth so we can loosen up the hamstrings. You can also shift your hips from side to side here, loosening up those hip flexors. Wagging the dog a bit. And then go ahead and come into stillness in this pose. Really trying to reach your heels down towards the mat. Core is engaged, hips are nice and lifted. Really envisioning that V shape. Your body comes in. Down dog. We're putting a slight bend in your knees. You're going to bring your gaze up in between your hands. You're going to step, jump, or walk in between your hands for a forward fold. Bending both knees. Now you're going to inhale. Arms come up and overhead, and exhale. Hands to heart center. All right. We're going to do a few more of those to warm ourselves up here. So inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward, hinging from the hips, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees. Inhale those arms. And exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, and then we're gonna go ahead and start to build some heat energy here. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, step or jump back to a high plank position. Core is engaged here. Hug those elbows in towards your rib cage as you slowly lower down to the mat. Tops of your feet go flat. Upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under. Hips up and back. Down dog. Go ahead and drop down to your knees here. You're going to take your right foot, you're going to frame your right foot in between your hands. You're going to inhale those arms. You're going to exhale, release, fold forward, tuck the left toes under, left knee comes up and off the mat. Go ahead and try to line your heels up towards one another, keeping that bend in the front knee. You're going to inhale, warrior one. Inhale, bringing your arms out to a T. Your hips are aligned to the long side of the mat now. Coming into warrior two. Drop your hand down the back leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. Inhale back to the warrior two. Straighten out your front leg. Imagine somebody pulling those fingertips. Hinge from your hip, reach down, coming into triangle. Try to stack those shoulders. Imagining your back is flush up against a wall. And then to come out of this, begin to bend that knee, bringing yourself right back in to the warrior two. Go ahead and start to pivot your hips to face the short side of the mat. You're going to fold forward, framing that foot. Pivot your left foot back around to face the short side of the mat. Your right foot's going to come back to your left. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. We're going to go right back into the flow. So first we're going to bend our knees. Gaze goes up in between our hands. Step, jump, or walk in between your hands for that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend those knees. Inhale those arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, now time for the other side. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, step or jump back to that high plank position. Hug those elbows in towards your rib cage. Slowly lower down. Tops of your feet go flat. Upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under. Hips up and back. Down dog. Drop those knees down to the mat. Frame that left foot in between your hands. Inhale those arms. Exhale, release. Fold forward. Tuck your right toes under, right knee comes up and off the mat. Line your heels up towards one another. Coming into the warrior one. Open out. Arms out to a T. Warrior two. Drop that hand on that back leg. Inhale the left arm. Coming into reverse warrior. Inhale back to the warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Imagine somebody pulling those fingertips. Reach down, stack the shoulders, gazes up towards the ceiling, and breathe. I like the back of your sweater. Good human. Love it. Bending that left knee, you're going to bring yourself right back in to the warrior two. Go ahead and pivot around so your hips are facing the short side of the mat. You're going to exhale, fold forward, bring the foot. Bring the right toes to face the short side of the mat. Left foot goes back to the right. Downward facing dog. You're gonna bend your knees, bring your gaze up in between your hands, step, jump, or walk in between your hands for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend those knees. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, so we're gonna still work some heat, but we're gonna build that heat in the core here. We're gonna have fun with some chair pose.
Jojo almost killed me yesterday with chair pose.
Who did she?
Jojo, yeah.
How long did she keep you in it?
A long time, it felt like. So as soon as you said that, I'm like, damn. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
We're gonna do okay.
Okay.
All levels, guys, we can do this.
Yes, we can.
If it really gets intense, just go pull up a chair, bring it right behind you, chair pose. So we're gonna come in mountain, shoulders relaxed. We're gonna inhale the arms. Take a slight back bend here, and then as you exhale, swan dive forward, hinging from the hips, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, keeping that bend in your knees. Bring those arms alongside your ears, reaching out through your fingertips. Keeping those sitting bones down towards the mat. Core is engaged, keep breathing through this. Angie's like, you're cheating. You're not in chair.
I know. I secretly hate you right now.
And then as you inhale, come right back up to stand and go right back into that back bend again. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, keeping that bend in your knees. Arms alongside the ears. Sink those sitting bones down.
Yay for chair pose.
And inhale, back to standing. Take that back bend. Last one, and we're going to throw a twist in here. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Keep the bend in the knees. Arms alongside the ears. Core is engaged. Use your exhale to sink a little deeper. Hands are going to come into prayer. Follow the prayer down to your heart. Your right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Stack the hands. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Stack the hands. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release, fold forward. Grab opposite elbows. Keeping your knees bent, coming into ragdoll. Take this time to connect back to your breath. Shaking your head yes. Shaking your head no. And then exhale, releasing those hands down towards the mat. You're going to bring your right hand in the center of your feet. Bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight. Inhale the left arm, up and overhead. Gaze up at the fingertips. Exhale, switch sides. Left hand comes down, bend the left knee, straighten out the right leg. Right arm comes up and overhead. And exhale, release. Bending both knees now, inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're gonna start by bringing our legs out wide on the mat now. So where your pinky side of your toes are gonna be on the short side of the mat. You're gonna bring your index finger, middle finger into your hip crease. Taking a deep inhale. And exhale, hinge from your hips, lead with your heart. Start to fold forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Hands can come down to the mat. Now you can keep your wrists under your shoulders, or you can walk your hands back between your legs. Try to bring your head towards the mat. Honor your body. If those hamstrings are screaming at you, put a micro bend in your knees. Go ahead and walk your hands back so your wrists are under your shoulders. Then we're going to walk our hands towards our right foot to frame the foot, bending the right knee. We did this last week if you were on. Now you could come up onto the left heel. If you need more balance, you could plant that left foot, sort of sitting your right sit bone on that right heel. You could bring your hands into prayer. Remember to breathe. And exhale, fold forward, frame that foot. Walking your hands back to center. Take a breath here. And then begin to walk those hands on over towards the left foot, framing the left foot. Come on to the heel. Or if you need more balance, drop the right foot. Left sitting bone is on the left heel. Hands in prayer. Release and fold forward. Go ahead and bring yourself back into that wide-legged forward fold. Index finger, middle finger in your hip crease. Start to inhale yourself right back up to a neutral spine. So we're going to go ahead and work those legs a little bit more. So if you like a chair, you'll probably like this. We're going to go into goddess pose a little bit. So we're going to pivot our toes so they're facing the corners of the mat. And bring your arms out to a T. And bring goalpost arms out. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. Bend your knees, sink those sitting bones down towards the mat. Stay connected to your breath. Inhale, return back to standing. Arms out to a T. We're going to do that 2 more times. Goalpost arms. Inhale and exhale, bend the knees, sinking the sitting bones down towards the mat. Inhale, arms out to a T. 1 more. Goalpost arms. Taking your deep inhale and exhale. Sink those sitting bones down. Inhale, back to standing. Arms out to a T. Then bring your index finger, middle finger in your hip crease. Toe heel step or jump your feet together. Returning back to mountain. So we're going to throw in some balancing here. I'm going to do 2 balancing poses. But we're going to start by warming ourselves up by doing some toe and heel lifts. Then we'll be going into tree. We did that last week. But then we're going to add on eagle. So that will be fun. That will be fun. So standing in mountain, we're going to want to find a drishti point. So what that means is just something you're finding to focus your gaze on. Could be a spot on the wall, a light socket, just something that's not moving. Relaxing your arms. You're going to inhale, coming up onto the toes. Exhale, release your heels, and inhale, lift your toes. Exhale, release, back up onto the toes. And just move with the own rhythm of your breath here. Now if you notice those arches of your feet start to splay out, try to keep them parallel to one another. And the next time you're flat, go ahead and pause. You want to keep focusing on that drishti point. You're going to keep your right foot planted. You're going to start by kickstanding the left heel up against your right ankle. Stay there. Or you could bring that left foot to your right shin. Or you could bring it up all the way to the inner thigh. Just not pressed against the knee. Try to open that left knee out. Hands can go into prayer. And then, if you like to, you can branch your tree out. Reaching your arms up and overhead. Reaching out through your fingertips. Hands come back into prayer. Follow the prayer back down to your heart. Release that left foot down. Walk it out. Same thing on the other side now. So our left foot's going to be grounded. Kickstand that right heel up against the left ankle. Stay there, or right to left shin, or right to left inner thigh. Hands go into prayer. Stay here. Or bring your arms up and overhead, branching your tree out. Feeling nice and tall, rooted and strong. If you fall out, go right back in. Hands go into prayer. Follow the prayer to your heart. Release that foot and walk it out. So we're going to do this eagle. Now you might need a prop for this. Some people might need a block. If you do have a block or something you could use, I'll show you. Yes, or a book.
Even like a pot, don't you think? You could put your toe
Yeah, a pot. Whatever you definitely want.
I don't know.
Be creative here.
Just thinking of random things.
So you can see it's just something that I have that I'm going to put next to my foot, really to just balance on. So the ideal way is to come into mountain, bending your knees slightly. You're going to then cross your right leg over your left. Now if you can bind that right foot behind your left calf. If you can't do that, this is where you would gently just tap your right toes on the block, giving a little bit of balance. Then we're going to bring the opposite elbow, so the left elbow goes over the right. Binding the arms together, pushing the palms in, and inhale slightly, so you can bring those elbows parallel to the shoulders. And you said you were doing like some Facebook challenges?
Oh yeah. Oh, the contest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the kids one.
Here's one.
Yeah, right?
What's your most interesting prop? Love it.
Oh, I like that.
Comment, post pictures. We would love to see it.
Random props that you're using. I like that.
Unbind your arms. Release that foot. Bring it down. Walk it out.
I don't like that pose.
Really?
No. Do you like it?
I do, but I like binding poses.
Oh, okay.
So that's
It's
interesting.
not my favorite, yeah. I mean, I like the challenge, but it's not my favorite. I gotta admit that.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead on the other side. Bend those knees slightly. Now the left binds around the right. Try to hook it around that calf if you can. If not, use your prop. And now the right elbow goes over the left. Bind the arms, press the palms. Inhale, trying to bring those elbows parallel. I think this looks more like a flamingo. Like
Yeah,
an
you're
eagle.
right. I like that, yeah.
And bind your arms, release that, and then walk it out. Alright, so I think it's time for us to bring ourselves down onto the mat. So we're just going to come into an easy seated pose here. We're going to start to wind ourselves down. And when we wind down, we're going to work on hips. So just, if you've been in my classes, I always bring hips in. And one of the reasons is I was on vacation and I didn't do any yoga for a while on vacation. Bad B. But those hips got so tight so quickly. So being at home, if you're not doing your practice as much as you used to, a lot of this stuff can just tighten right back up. So try to do as little as you can every day, just to open up the hips. And some of the stuff we're going to be doing on the mat here is going to be great for home. We're going to end up using the wall a little bit as a prop here, which I think as long as we're both here, they should be able to see us. And this is going to be great ways for you to keep those hips open. So we're going to start with an easy seated forward fold. Hands alongside your hips. Inhale those arms. And then exhale, hinge from your hips. Lead with your chest, fold forward. Reach out through those fingertips. Trying to drop your head as close to your mat as possible. Just focus on the rhythm of your breath here, following that natural rise and fall. This is such an easy pose that helps relieve any anxiety or stress. And I think we've all been feeling that with different areas of our life right now. So this is always something you can do for yourself, self-care. If you need a moment, find a space, quiet space. Sometimes it can even be your closet. I'll admit I've done that. And just take a breather. Then you're going to inhale as you bring yourself right back up to a neutral spine. We're going to take those hands alongside of our hips. Inhale. You're going to exhale, scissor open to the right, left hand to your right knee. Tip the right fingertips up behind those right sitting bones. Nice and tall throughout the spine and the crown of your head. Gaze out over that right shoulder. Inhale back to neutral spine. And then those arms will go up and overhead. Exhale, scissor open to the left, right hand to your left knee. Tip the left fingertips up behind that left sitting bone, nice and tall throughout the spine and the crown of your head. Gaze out over that left shoulder. We're going to inhale back. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our legs out wide here. Now we did a wide-legged forward fold standing. We're going to do the same thing as we're sitting. I like people to really bring awareness to this because it just lets you know how different your body can be depending which position you're in. For instance, I can definitely get deeper when I'm standing than I can when I'm sitting. So it's just letting you know where you might need to work a little bit more if you're trying to go deeper. So with your legs wide out, you have a couple different options. You can start to walk your hands forward between your legs, hinging from your hips, leading with your chest. Or you could take your left hand to your left ankle or left foot, right hand to your right ankle or right foot. And breathe here. What I love about practicing here that you can see is the difference. Not everybody's body can do the same thing. Even if you've been working at it for such a long time. I've been practicing for 6 to 7 years. I cannot get as far as Angie can. So it's letting me know that that's something within my body. It could be compression, bones. It doesn't mean I'm not flexible. Right. And that's such really a good thing point. To know.
Yeah, it's just your body type.
Yes.
Because you are flexible.
Yes.
We know this.
Yeah. And there's things that, I can't do that. And I seen one person who did that, but they were wondering how I could get my legs in lotus. So, so it was really interesting. So never compare, trust me, never compare.
Never.
And then as you inhale, bring yourself right back up to a neutral spine. And then see which felt easier for you, which did your hips feel the most when you were in that pose. So if you noticed it more when you were sitting, you might want to work on the seated wide-legged forward folds more than the standing. So now we're going to bring our feet bottoms together here in a butterfly. Now, depending on your hips, how tight they are, the closer the heels are to your sitting bones, the deeper that the stretch is going to be for you. So if you're more advanced, you definitely want them closer in. If this isn't something that's easy, you want to just scoot those heels out a little bit more. And, try with them in, and then as you're going into, you can always scoot them out. Hold on to those ankles or shins. Check in with your posture. Take that deep inhale. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips, lead with your chest. Start to fold forward. Use your elbows to push down those thighs or shins. Try to bring your forehead towards your feet. Breathing here. left leg out towards the left. Right foot comes in towards the left thigh. Keep your left foot engaged like it's pressed up against the wall. Hands alongside your hips. Inhale and exhale. Hinge from your hips. Lead with your heart. Fold over the left leg. Grabbing a hold of what you can. It might be the toes. It might be your shin. But just check in with the spine. Make sure your spine is nice and straight here. And then work with your exhales. Know every time you exhale, that'll allow your body to release a little bit deeper into the pose. And then inhale back. We're going to take the right leg back out, bring the left in now. Right foot engaged, turn your torso towards that right leg, hands alongside your hips. Inhale and exhale, hinge from your hips. Lean with your chest, fold over that right leg. Remember to breathe. You're going to inhale, slowly bringing yourself back up to a neutral spine. And now we're going to go ahead and start to use the wall here as our prop. So what you can do, depending where you're at in your home, you could bring a mat up to the wall. If you have carpet, you might not need it. Yeah, I'm not going to bring my mat out. Yeah. I'm just going to do it like this because then I know you guys can see us. So first we're going to start with legs up the wall. So I like to come on my side so I can get my hip right up against the wall, because the closer your sitting bones are to the wall, the better stretch you're gonna get. So once my hip is there, I start to come down, swing my legs up, and you can stay here for a moment. And start to just connect to your breath here. You could always bring your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your navel center to help connect to your breath. This is a wonderful pose. If you have any problems sleeping at night, this could definitely help you sleep at night. This reduces risk of heart attack because this is an inversion. It helps that blood go right back up to our hearts. But now we're going to work the wall as our prop for our hips. So we're going to do some of the same stuff we did, but we're going to use the wall. So this is going to become a little bit more restorative. So you're going to bring your legs out to that wide-legged stance, just like we did. You can see me scooting over because I know we're gonna touch pinkies.
Let's say I'll go wherever you want to go.
Oh, see the difference? Let's see. So yeah, see the big difference there.
That's because you stretched me out. That's why.
And then what's really cool about this, and we all have time, I think, right now with social media, is you can watch time lapses of this on Instagram or Facebook. Really? Yeah, they have it, and it's so cool to watch the legs open. Like if you stay here for like 15 minutes, you know, gravity just starts to take over. The legs will just start to open.
Yeah, I don't think I can hold this that long.
So then, from here, we're going to go ahead now. We're going to bring our feet bottoms together, just like we were in butterfly. So I'm going to scoot because I fell back a little bit. I'm going to bring my heels in as close to my sitting bones as I can. But now I could use my hands and I could push those thighs, trying to get closer towards the wall. Breathing into your hips here. . go ahead and start to bring your knees back together. Bring your legs straight up towards the ceiling again. And then slowly start to walk your feet down the wall. Turn on over to one side or the other, using your top hand to push yourself back up. And then we're just gonna come right back onto our mats. But we're gonna come down because we're gonna start to wind down. So when we come down, we're gonna work that core again. Little boat. I know everybody's favorite pose here.
I like boat.
I do. I like boat too. It really is great for the core, which
Yeah.
I love. It gives you such core strength, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
So hands behind those thighs. Inhale, shins parallel to the ceiling, arms out. Or if you want to go deeper, straighten out your legs. Coming into a V shape here. And then as you exhale, slowly start to lower your legs and spine down towards the mat. Once you reach, bring those knees into your chest, rocking a bit side to side. And then we're going to interlace our fingers over that right shin as we extend our left leg out long on the mat. Pull that right knee in towards your chest. And you're going to bend your left knee, bringing the left foot down onto the mat. You're going to take the outside of your right foot with your right hand, keeping that right knee bent, going into a half heavy baby here. Really pull down on that right foot, trying to get that right knee as close to your shoulder as you can. Release your grip on that right foot. Extending the right leg out long. Now you're going to bend the left knee, interlacing your fingers over that left shin. Pull that left knee in towards your chest. Breathing. Bending that right knee, taking that right foot down to the mat. You're going to use your left hand to grab the outside of the left foot. Keeping the bend in the left knee, pull down on that foot. Trying to get that left knee towards the shoulder. Exhale, release that left foot back down to the mat. We're going to work the hips here a little bit before we go into our supine twist and then shavasana. So we're going to go into our reclined pigeon here. So keeping the knees bent, we're going to bring the shins parallel to the ceiling. You're going to cross your left ankle over your right thigh, right above the right knee. Interlace your fingers behind the right thigh. Pull the right thigh in towards your chest. Use your left elbow to push out that left thigh. Left foot's engaged, right is relaxed. Breathing into the left hip here. Now we're going to release our grip on the right thigh, and we're going to bring our arms out to a T, keeping the stack of our legs here. We're going to roll onto our right hip so we can drop that left foot flat on the floor beside us. Try to keep both shoulder blades flat on the mat, and if it's okay with your head, neck, and shoulders, gaze out over those left fingertips. Inhale your head and legs back to center. Uncross your legs. Bring your feet bottoms out wide on the mat. And then windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Taking your feet and knees back to center. You'll inhale your shins parallel to the ceiling. Recline pigeon on the opposite side. Now right ankle goes over the left thigh, right above the left knee. Interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. Pull the left thigh in towards your chest. Right elbow pushes out the right thigh. Right foot's engaged, left is relaxed. Breathing into that right hip. Releasing your grip on that left thigh. You're going to go ahead, bringing those arms out to a T, keeping the stack of your legs rolling onto your left hip, dropping that right foot flat on the floor beside you. Both shoulder blades flat on the mat. If it's okay with your head, neck, and shoulders, gaze out over those right fingertips. Go ahead and start to inhale your head and knees back to center. Uncross your feet bottoms out wide on the mat. And again, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Bringing your feet and knees back to center. We're going to go into a full happy baby here. So bend your knees, taking the outsides of your feet with each of your hands, keeping the bend in your knees. Pull down on the feet, trying to get those knees towards the shoulders, and rock a bit side to side. And then on our next inhale, we're going to release the grip on our feet and go right into a full body stretch. So as you inhale, stretch those arms overhead as you extend those feet out long in front of you. Stretch out all those muscles. And exhale throughout your mouth, letting everything go. And now it is time for Shavasana. So you guys are at home and you have lots of props there, so make yourself as comfortable as possible. Blanket, pillows, whatever you like. So this is where our bodies get to absorb all of the heat and energy that you created in class today. I know it might be tempting to leave. A lot of people find it difficult to just be still, but our minds really need that. It's one of the most important parts of yoga. So begin to start to relax all the muscles in your body, from the tips of your toes all the way to the crown of your head. Feeling all your muscles melt into the mat. Connecting back to the rhythm of your breath as you feel that natural rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Checking in if your tongue is pressed against the roof of your mouth. If so, go ahead and create some space there. Thoughts come across your mind. Just acknowledge them and let them go. If you're having a hard time, maybe just bring to your mind what you thought of during a reading at the beginning of class, something that you need to let go of, and just focus your mind on that particular thing. And when it's time to come out, I'll bring you out with the bells. It is now time to come back into this space. You can start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. As you bring some deeper awareness back into your breath. Taking another full body stretch if you'd like. And when you're ready, you could go ahead and turn on over to your right side using your right arm as a pillow. And then using your top hand, you could go ahead and push yourself back up into an easy seated position, keeping your eyes closed. And we'll bring our hands into a prayer position right at our heart center. Pressing our thumbs against our sternum there just for a moment to feel our heartbeat. And then on our next inhale, we'll bring that prayer up to our forehead for right thought. Following that prayer down to our mouth center for right speech. And following that prayer back down to our heart center. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you,
Erika.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
everybody for watching.
I hope to see you guys again next week.
Yes.